It's 7 o'clock on Wednesday, March 2nd. I'd like to welcome everybody in the auditorium and in the viewing audience to the March 2nd meeting of the Revere Conservation Commission. First item on the agenda is roll call. Member Nick Malason. Here. Member Vincent Lauria. Here. Member Joseph Lavalley.
Here.
Member Ann Raponi.
Here. Member
James Sorboni. I'm Chairman Andrew B. DeSantis. Member Vincent Camerata is absent. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of February 3rd, 2016. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
That was by Nick?
Vinny.
Vin. I'll get you right one of these days. Eventually. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is a public meeting, a request for determination of applicability, 180 Broadsound Road, demolition of existing structure and construction of a, I had put a duplex, but I believe it's a single, isn't it?
Correct.
And second glance at the plans. Would you introduce yourself, please? Yep, mic's on, it's green.
My name is Corey Rhodes. I'm an attorney with the Ambrosio Brown LLP, 14 Proctor Avenue in Revere. And I represent Lighthouse Renovations LLC, which owns this property at 180 Broadsound. You might know this property off of Winthrop Parkway, excuse me, that has been kind of deteriorating over the last few years. And my clients come in to restore it, take it down, and put in a single family, a new single family. So we are very close to the seawall. We thought we would bring it in front of the commission to get their thoughts on how best to proceed with that construction.
Speak into the mic.
I can try that again.
Is that better?
Hello? Okay.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
This is 180 Broadsound, and this is Lighthouse Renovations LLC, the owner. We're looking to raise the current structure and build a single family, and we may have some conservation issues, so we wanted to bring it in front of the commission.
Okay, as we spoke prior to the meeting, I believe this requires a filing of notice of intent, which you informed me that you're in the process of filing. Correct. It should be in the mail. You know, if there's questions, you can ask questions. Otherwise, it's a simple motion to make a positive determination that a notice of intent filing is required.
I'll motion for a positive determination of applicability and notice of intent.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Vote in the affirmative. Next meeting will be the first Wednesday in April, which is the 6th of April. So you'll be on the agenda for that. You'll need to get a notice into the local paper of the public hearing.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Joseph? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing, notice of intent, DEP file 06106. I think that might be a 5 now, but I don't think DEP's issued the file, never the last time I looked. Construction of 3 duplex homes on lots 4-103 to Lot 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 Standish Road, Standish Realty Trust, Carmine Martignetti, Trustee, and Jerzy, Bosek. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Voted in the affirmative. And Paul, introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Paul Finocchio with PGF and Associates. I'm here on behalf of Carmine Martignetti, who is the trustee of the Standish Road Realty Trust, and also his brother Paul. This property is located on Standish Road, opposite of Curtis Road, and consists of lots 21 through 25, as shown on the Assessor's Map 4, Block 103. The Martinetti's owning lots 21 through 24, which are basically coming from the east to the west, and lot 25 is owned by Jerzy, Bosek. Brief history of the lot: back in the 50s and 60s, this property was had a clam shack on it, according to the neighbors, and it used to be a distributorship, and it'd be 18-wheelers coming in and out all the time, distributing stuff. Later on, it became a contractor's yard, basically a masonry yard. And in 2008, the Martinettis had pulled a demolition permit to pull down what was left of the structure. And basically what sits out there now is the existing floor slab of the building, and also a lot of the masonry debris that was left over from the contractor. So this past fall, the Martinettis had gone before the Board of Appeals to seek relief from the board for creating 3 lots, and asking for relief in frontage of 65 feet on 2 of the lots. And that board had granted them permission to do so, creating these 3 lots. There were some conditions from the board, and I believe they were submitted in to the board. And we had the site was delineated by Norse Environmental, Steve Erickson. And those wetland flags are shown as 1A through 10A along the Sales Creek. There is an existing concrete retaining wall at that portion of the property, so it was a fairly clear delineation of the wetlands line. The Martinettis are proposing to construct 3 duplex lots. Each lot will have its own parking on site. There will be its own water and sewer connection to its existing mains out in the street. The property is located in the flood zone. Currently, the FEMA maps are for 2009, showing that the site is flood elevation 6. The new maps coming out this month, I believe, are showing that the new elevation is elevation 11. The existing site elevations are anywhere between 3.5 to 4. So there'll be no change in grade. What we will be doing is actually removing that debris, leveling off the lot, and it will still be pitching from the Standish Road to Sales Creek. The driveways will consist of crushed stone and our pervious material, and also the space underneath the garage, underneath the foundation, will also be pervious material, either crushed stone or pervious pavers or porous concrete. That's where the parking spaces are. The proposed foundation will be roughly 4 feet out of the ground, and then after the top of that will be a pressure-treated knee wall, which will carry up to the first floor. There will be 6 foundation openings in each structure, which will be at grade, and will be 12 by 18 inches. This will allow for flow-through for the any floodwaters that may occur on site. There were also, one of the conditions from the Board of Appeals, what they will be replacing the existing fences that are out there now, which are along the perimeter of the property. There's also a chain link fence on top of the wall. We'll be replacing that fence as well. One of the other conditions was that the developers also put in a gate at the easterly side of the property, which is access for the Public Works Department to get into Sales Creek, and they'll be doing that also. There will be erosion control measures installed basically along the perimeter where the fences are to keep any type of debris or flow of materials onto the butters properties onto the wetlands area. At that point, if there are any questions from the members of the board.
Okay.
Paul, is that north up,
North is facing down.
facing down?
Yeah, the back of the property is facing Sales Creek, is the edge of Sales Creek. Front of the property, Standish Road. Any questions, Mr. Sabone?
Yeah, the retaining wall at Sales Creek, flow's still going to be directed towards it. How does that drainage pattern work? That was one of the concerns, and I guess also if you could just address the letter that was submitted by Councilor Novoselsky dated March 2nd with concerns. I guess, I'm not sure how many of those concerns you're aware of or not, but without having much time to respond to those individually, unless you want to now, I guess we can include them as special conditions and then
I could,
in the order of conditions.
Yes, yes, sure. Madam Mayor.
basically, it's a fairly flat lot with slow pitch to the rear. So we're looking at any water, so basically here we're going to have the impervious material, which is the crushed stone, impervious material, crushed stone and/or pervious pavers. And also the roof area, if you pick that up on downspouts, that'll also discharge underneath the house into the crushed stone area also.
How deep is groundwater right there?
I do not know. Well, the ground.
Or how do you know,
It's really going to drop off out in the back. I know that the rear property is down somewhere around elevation 1.
Right, yeah.
And the property's up at elevation 4, and it still drops off that back wall a few more feet. So basically, I'm not looking at separation. What we're looking at is just rainwater coming off the building going into the ground as it does now, which is still fairly tight package. You have a hard pack area, you still have the old slab foundations, and still bituminous pavement out there on site.
So this, you'll have more infiltration
You'll
with
have, yes, you'll have
with
more
what you're putting out
infiltration
there
with
now?
the use of the crushed stone.
Sure, all right.
In regards to the letter from Ira, there is some conflicting information in regards to that sewer. There is the plan from 1907, which shows the sewer line going partly down, starting partly down Standish Road, coming into Curtis Road. There is a plan from 1974 showing it being connected from Garfield to Standish. The problem is out in Garfield, in the intersection of Garfield and Standish Road, all the manholes are paved over. So we're still trying to investigate that portion of the work. What we are proposing, and I have talked with the engineering department, is that we will run they want two separate utilities for both units, to be water and sewer. We'll run out, connect into the line, and if the line is dead-ended, he wants a manhole at the dead end, so we allow for easier to flushing of the system.
The dead end on Standish heading east,
The Standish Road heading on east towards Garfield.
because it really didn't show on the plan I handed you a manhole
Well,
there. It showed
there-
something,
And
but it didn't look like a manhole.
I only have one copy of the plan that I got from the engineering department that was done in 1974, showing a connection to Garfield. And again, the other plan was a 1907 sewer plan that's showing it dead ending somewhere in front of the abutter's house to the left.
It makes sense that everything would flow to Eliot Road, which is the 18-inch sewer, and eventually flows out to North Shore Road,
Correct.
where everything on Standish, that plan I have, shows it going to Curtis and then down Curtis to Eliot Road.
Yeah, correct. The start runs on this way, and then everything out Curtis Road.
Okay.
But that's just a conflict in the record information, so
Yep.
we will be camera that, we can see where that line runs. If it does dead end, we put a manhole in there for allow for easier flushing of the system.
And you said separate services
Separate
for
services.
each unit and
Each unit,
duplex.
so there'll be 6 connections.
Okay. Anybody else? Members of the audience would like to speak? Come up to the microphone, please, and state your name and your address.
Yes, my name is Veronica Lorenzo, and I live at 31A Standish Road. And my main concern is this sewer system. On February 2nd of this year, we had a lot of heavy rain, and my first floor toilet backed up.
Speaking to the mic, please. Did you say your first name was Rhonda?
I'm sorry?
Your first name again?
Veronica Lorenzo.
Veronica. Di Lorenzo?
Lorenza,
Oh, Lorenzo.
L-A-U-R-E-N-Z-A.
Okay, go ahead, speak.
Okay. And like I said, on February 2nd, we had some heavy rain. My first floor toilet backed up. February 15th, we had some heavy wind and a little bit of rain. My first floor toilet backed up. I actually called Roto-Rooter to come down and take a look. I said, something's wrong. He said, He went out 25 feet from the house, and he said, "It's not you, it's out on the street." And then again, February 23rd, my husband and I are sitting in the living room, and the toilet's bubbling up. I mean, we just can't take any more sewage on that street.
Was it raining on the 23rd?
Yes, not as heavy as the second, though.
How long have you lived there?
25 years.
How often does this happen?
Actually, it's happening more now than in past years. I mean, it's happened before, and, you know, we kind of, like, just let it go because that's the way it is. But now it's just too often.
And this...
And it's not like we're even tied into the other house, you know, the other townhouse that's connected to us, because we're both on separate systems. And actually, Martignetti built my house.
Yeah, I know he's developed a lot of land down there.
Right.
And what did the city do about your complaints? Anything?
Well, let's see, on February 2nd, they said, I don't know, some gate or something was open or closed, I don't know. And then on February 15th, they were going to look into it, because I was really kind of ticked off, because I actually paved Roto-Rooter. And I never heard anything.
And you
then,
never
like I
saw the
said,
big truck come down and
and,
flush the sewers?
If they did, I did not see it. And then again, like I said, on the 23rd, my husband and I are just sitting watching TV about, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and my first floor toilet
You
is
can hear a
bubbling up
gurgle,
again.
yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a quick
Yes,
question?
go ahead, Lavalley.
Could you tell me, ma'am, is this a first floor or below grade, or where was this bathroom that you're talking about that you
It's
have?
the first floor. Yes,
Grade level?
I don't have, I'm on
A
I
slab?
don't have a basement. I have a crawl space.
Crawl space, okay.
But I mean, I'm up off the ground.
3 feet? I'm just curious.
I'm gonna
Trying to
say, yeah, okay, we'll go with 3 feet.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, for the record, there's a comment in the letter, March 2nd letter from Councilor Novoselsky. He references specifically comments from Joe Lorenza, suing for your property, and concerns about sewerage. And the response was, so maybe the proponent can speak to this response, because the way they were going to resolve that was to stagger the sewer tie-ins with the westernmost tie-in on Standish Road, west of Curtis Road, the next tie-in east of Curtis Road, between Curtis Road and Garfield Ave. So if the proponent could speak to that, just to help alleviate any concerns that you have, that I think that would be helpful.
I know you left the diagram to Joe, but Joe didn't have
My name's Carmine, Martignetti, trustee of Standish Road Trust. So this is, when we had a meeting, do you mind if I speak to?
Yeah, why don't you take the microphone with you, Com,
Okay. We had the neighborhood meeting.
and speak into it if you would. Hold it up to your mouth.
We had the neighborhood meeting in November, and Joe was there. And what we promised Joe we would do is we would connect, there's a manhole here, right? So your house is obviously here. So the sewer for this house would go, just one of the houses would go here before the manhole, right? This house would go after it, so that your sewer won't be affected by that, because this is gonna go into the manhole here and then down Curtis Road. Okay? And then this house, this line flows this way, right? The sewer line back into this manhole. So to avoid putting any more fluid into this manhole, this is Joe talked about this, and he's the one that actually gave us the idea. So this is Garfield, right? So at Garfield, there's a manhole here. So we agreed to go all the way down here.
Okay.
So that, and then this flows this way, away from you. So you, yeah, so most of this sewage from this house goes here, right? All of it actually, from this house goes here, and then it's gonna go this way. It's not gonna come towards you. This one is gonna come before you, and that maybe, we have to talk to the city. Maybe we can put it, past that also. And this one is gonna go all the way back to Garfield. So that's what we agreed with Joe. And it's actually in the, an order of condition. This is my brother Paul. It's in order of condition, so we're legally obligated, bound to do what Joe and I spoke about that meeting. And that's what we agreed to do. Right, is that right, Paul? Paul's our attorney also, besides being my brother.
I mean, only because, kind of not, the street doesn't just go straight, I mean, it kind of bellows under. And the water all comes right to my house. And even though we actually had a drain put there, the drain bubbles up. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I just can't see any other solution. I've got to make sure there's.
Yeah, would you speak into the mic, please? So
I'm sorry.
that's
I
all right.
just said, the way that Standish Road is, it's not just a flat road all the way. It kind of goes down and up. It's a minimal amount, but still, it's enough for the water to back up. And we actually had a sewer put at the end of our driveway.
A catch basin, you mean?
A catch basin, right. And the catch basin bubbles up. I mean, so definitely something is wrong out there. And we just can't have any more, sewage coming down. That's the bottom line.
If I may, I was an engineer the other day, and he explained to me that this line, for years, had cracks in it. And so if you can imagine that, the cracks in the sewer line,
Right.
the water would seep into it and then fill the manhole, the whole line, and it goes over. So if I'm not mistaken, they relined those.
They've been doing a lot of relining in the city in the last few years.
Yeah, he told me specifically, I'm sorry, I don't remember his last name.
Rystrom.
Thank you. He told me specifically, this street, this line was relined.
Okay.
So that alone, I can imagine, helped a lot. But I'm gonna be there every day, right? And Joe's gonna be there every day. So he's gonna see what we're doing.
Can't hear him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Into the mic.
I explained to Ms. Lanza that Joe, her husband's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there every day. And
Right into the mic, please.
I-
That's it.
I'm gonna be there every day. And I'm sure Joe's gonna be there every day. And, I've known Joe for almost 30 years now, so. Just gonna do the best we can.
Can I just make a proposal for the commission that we enter the letter dated March 2nd, which is a pretty good summary of the concerns of the abutters.
Would you read that, please?
You want me to read the
Ira's letter?
whole letter?
Yes, please. Or I'll read it if you want.
I was just going to
Didn't have a
suggest
copy.
that we enter it as special conditions within the order of conditions, if the proponent is willing to accept them.
Okay.
Then we could enter them into the
Yep,
conditions,
we will.
and it's a done deal. You'll be bound to completing it as stated.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can I just say,
Into the mic, Tom.
it's on the plan, but we need to cut the trees on the sidewalk down as per the neighborhood meeting. It's in the conditions.
Okay.
Just want to make sure we don't have any surprise.
Yep.
Thank you.
Would the other gentleman in the audience like to speak? Come to the mic, state your name, your address.
My name's Richard Everett.
85 Standish Road, Revere. I'm the trustee and treasurer of Standish Townhouse Condominiums on Standish Road and Porter Avenue. And I just want to say that I'm in favor of the project. I was there for the October, November meeting that they had, the street meeting, discussed things. I don't see any problem. And as far as the sewer allowance or anything, because we're down
Yep.
on the other side of that, we don't have any problems down there. As far as the sewerage that she's talking about, she's on the other side of the line.
Yep.
As you're coming in. And we've never had any problem. I've been there for 26 years when they first built the townhouses there, and there's never been a problem with sewage backup or flooding or anything like that.
Okay.
So I just want to say I'm in favor of the project. Anything's better than what's there now, so,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
And I have a copy of an email that Mr. Martignetti gave me from George P. and Marianne Zulalian. Was sent actually to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and it reads, "My family owns the two houses, 16 Standish Road, which is directly across the street from the properties of the applicant referenced in the subject line. We have owned and lived in these homes since they were built by my father in 1955 and 1956. I remember the clam shack, as we called it, which had 18-wheel trucks distributing processed clams in and out of the property for years for the most of my childhood, and then it became a Mason's Materials Repository for years after that. The other parcel was always vacant and unkept, requiring my mother to call City Hall to have the weeds cut throughout the summer. In short, it has been an eyesore and a magnet for dumping trash and construction materials. The creek behind the property is choked with phragmites and is a mosquito breeding ground that the city of Revere has ignored for decades. For these reasons, we as owners and abutters wholeheartedly support the subdivision development of these parcels into homes, townhouses, condos, or apartments, as been done along other sections of Standish Road. Anything would be an improvement to what is there now. Sincerely, George P. and Marianne Zulalian, trustees of the Zulalian Family Trust, owner of 70 Standish Road. Anybody else like to speak on this? What is the will of the commission?
I'd like to second the motion from Mr. Saboni.
Okay, Mr. Saboni made a motion to close the public hearing and issue order of conditions.
Yes.
Seconded by member Ann Raponi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Voted in the affirmative. And I had prepared an order. I just got to add in just the condition to include the language in Ira's letter. Is that the only thing you were looking for, Jim?
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph? Okay. Next item, we'll sign it, and then I'll copy it, and then when we finally get a file number, I'll send it out, send it to Paul? Okay, will do. Is a vote for a minor amendment to an order of conditions, DEP file 0610673, 52 Eliot Road. Paul, would you explain what this is about, please?
Good evening, Paul Finocchio, PGF and Associates. I'm here on behalf of the owners of the property, which is, I believe, 52 Eliot Road Realty Trust. And what they would like to do is to amend the order of conditions in regards to the foundation detail, copy of which was submitted in. Basically, they were almost looking at the same thing that's proposed on this site, is to put in basically the 8-foot retaining wall, foundation, 4 feet of it's underground, 4 feet would be above, still with the foundation openings in at grade, which is 12 by 18 inches, and then
Thanks.
having a pressure-treated knee wall on top of that wall and supporting up to the first floor.
Any questions from Mr. Finocchio?
Yes. Just to clarify, you're changing the material from concrete to pressure-treated?
The foundation, we're going from basically you'll have 4 feet of the foundation exposed out of the ground. Then on top of that would be a knee wall.
Starting at elevation 8?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Just curious, what was the purpose of the revised foundation design?
This cost, I believe. You didn't want to put a foundation up of another 3 or 4 more feet of concrete.
I think it's cost, and I also think it's aesthetics.
Sorry.
I also think it's aesthetics.
Yes. Lot easier to
Well,
decide
it's
on.
still within the 100-year floodplain. The flood openings will be in the concrete portion. The floor still has to be elevated even higher.
So the pressure-treated wouldn't be in the,
Would be within the flood
Yeah.
area, yes, just like on Standish Road, same thing. There's no prohibition that I'm aware of against doing that. Big an issue? We have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
And that was Vin? Nick? I told you I'm not gonna get it right. Yeah, don't count on it. All those are in favor?
Aye.
Voted in the affirmative. The last item is a certificate of compliance for 31 Dick Street. You speak on this too, Paul?
Yes. Paul Finocchio, PJF and Associates. I'm here on behalf of the owner of the property located at 31 Dick Street. They're requesting a certificate of compliance from the board for an order of conditions that was issued for the site. The site is complete now, and there are 2 items that weren't done according to the plan. And they know about that, and they are reconciling one of them. One of them is the air conditioning units outside, supposed to be 1 foot above flood elevation. Right now, they're sitting on a concrete pad about 6 inches above existing grade. So they will be relocating those, moving those up, so they'll be at least 1 foot off the ground. The second item was an issue in the order of conditions with respect to the foundation openings. The plan showed 2 openings in the foundation, one on the left side and one in the rear. And in the order of conditions, there was an issue of asking for 2 in the garage area, which is located in the front right corner. Those were installed when the original owners had put the foundation in. So the foundation was in, he came in, bought the property, put the framing up, not knowing that there was supposed to be 2 more openings in the foundation. So I guess he's asking for relief on that portion of the order of conditions.
How many openings are there now?
There are 2 openings now.
On 2 sides of the...
There's one on the left rear and one in the rear. Left side and one in the rear. There weren't any put in the garage.
So we've got, 25 by 25, 625 square feet? It's going to be 1 inch of opening per square foot of inside the foundation? And what, essentially 12 by 15?
Yes, I think it might be 12 by 18, I think.
Oh, it says 1 point,
12 by 15, 1.5.
1.3,
1.3, yeah, like 12.
so
12 by
actually it's
15.
16 inch.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it.
Okay, so then I'm asking the board, what would the board like to see?
I would like to see the flood opening that's in the doors.
Do you want that, would you want the existing ones expanded out? I mean, I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to cut into his garage.
I think you can. I think if you look at the Smart Vents website, I think they're retrofittable.
Are they aluminum? The garage doors?
Yes, so you want to put them in the garage, 'cause they were talking about in the foundation, so if you put the openings in the garage door, you'd be fine with that?
Well, yeah, because what it actually says is that there actually should be 4 openings, one on each side. But I'd go along with the 2 in the garage, one in each garage door, the 2
It's
garage
one
doors.
door.
One door? Yeah, I'd go along with one if that makes up the 625 square feet.
Okay.
That's gonna be close.
Or if you
Or
expand,
if he wants to cut another one in the foundation.
or expand out one of the openings in the foundation.
Well, no, put another one in the foundation. I want at least 3.
Okay, all right. We talk to him, see what we can do.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't put another
Well,
one.
he didn't own it, he bought it after the fact. He bought the house after the foundation was already in the ground.
Okay,
And. bought
so
the
he
house-
violated not having the order conditions on the job while he's building it. Violated not putting and I'm probably sure I can find a few other things. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to hold this until,
Yep, oh, that's fine, I just wanted to get it from the board, so
Yeah.
see what else would have to be done.
yep, so I'll cut in another opening
All right,
and make sure it's 600 square inches.
okay, appreciate it, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome, Paul. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
That was by
second.
James, and that was by Nick.
No.
They should just think of one and say the opposite, right? All those in favor? Okay, adjourned at 7:37.